Digi and Brain in. Twisted Minds versus Dignitas. Napo and company trying to get that MENA 2 seed ever closer to the playoffs and get into that 2-1 upper round of Swiss. So let's get underway here as we start with Game 1 brought to you by Progressive.
Well, you guys, if you're a Dignitas fan in chat, you're going to be sitting on the edge of your seat for a minute. But if you are a Twisted Minds fan, girl, get ready. We're about to see some action. These two teams are going head-to-head to see who gets to avoid match point in round 4.
Quick start already off the kickoff. Napo gets a shot within the first 2 seconds of the game. Easily saved. Dignitas, big question for me watching them is defense. Discipline from defense, and Stizzy in particular. Back when I had casted that Dignitas team stream when they were in North America, Stizzy was on that team. They kind of lived and died by him. And Rocket League, a lot of players that get on LAN, might be, you know, their first or second LAN. One thing that's hard to do is keep your emotions level. And even when things are going well, but this is a great start and a great pass to Stizzy from Jorius.
The Panda special. If you've kept up with Dignitas since the OG days, you know the MO for this team are going to be those low ground passing plays. And sometimes you'll see them in the air, but again, on the ground, that is where they kind of thrive. So that being the opening goal, wouldn't have expected anything less. It's more Dignitas' defense is where I'm a little curious how we are going to see them compete against this Twisted Minds. But it doesn't even matter. If you are sitting in that Twisted Minds half taking shots at their net, you at least get to play a little bit more comfy.
Twisted Minds on pulling back as Dignitas looked for a way in. Apparently Jack was headhunting. 50 a bit slow to get to it. Joria's shot was cleared back out. Jack, maybe not the touch he was looking for, but it was also followed by another not great touch from Twisted Minds. The team's looking for that rhythm. Maybe some consecutive touches. Dignitas slowly grabbing that possession. Had midfield for a bit. Jack gets the demo, and Joria's, and you send the missile, and it's got Jack's face on it. It's going to be hard to avoid.
This is a very nice play, too, because even off the attack from Rise, Jorius was right there ready to go. This is a team that you're going to see very, very quick follow-ups as well. And Twisted Minds has to be prepared for that, especially if Dignitas are feeling good, which they have to be feeling amazing right now, right? You got a 2-goal opening lead in the first 2 minutes. I mean, Twisted Minds, you haven't even taken a fair amount of shots. This is one of the better ones, but still sent off.
One up Jack. One of those, again, if I saw from his perspective, maybe he saw him coming and went down, was like, not going to happen, but it looked like a clean whiff. Either way, Dignitas don't have to worry about any shots coming. Get reset on the midfield. Even when they don't get to that touch, Rise gets demoed. Atomic still had the space to get there. This time Jack does double commit. Rise only 12 boosts. Twisted Minds get a chance to get set up as Rise held the ball for a bit. Now Atomic past the elbow, easy goal. Dignitas could not get set on defense.
No, and while they weren't able to get set, it was also being disrupted, and they had to keep restarting. There were 2 bumps in the back end, and Atomic just easy spot down to Napo. Dignitas losing grip of their lead as Twisted Minds get placed onto the board.
Yeah, you called it with Jack getting bumped, unable to get back into the play, and then Stizzy didn't have any boost as he went to go for the touch. Unfortunately, all of the onus was on him to try to protect that ball with all that action going on behind him. Didn't think it would take too long for Twisted Minds to find a way in. It's been a physical game so far. Dignitas, Jack, always been a physical player, always loved being downfield as either an option or a plow, if you will. And he continues to be that for Dignitas. Served them well so far in these opening 3 minutes, but when Twisted Minds start shooting back with demos, how do you respond? Well, Atomic lets it drop. They were expecting the touch, and that gives the free out into the midfield. Twisted Minds get the set up in the midfield. They end up sending 2 there. Stizzy gets back just decent touch. Jorius avoids the bump. It's very awkward on defense. Dignitas have to keep their cameras on a swivel, not just keep track of the rotation behind the ball, but also what blue cars are flying at them in the net. Open here, Jack gets back in time for the touch and put it into safety, maybe turn it into something on the transition. Very awkward moments for Dignitas, but they almost created some magic there.
Oh man, they've tried so many times to really just gain control of this ball, but Twisted Minds, even when Dignitas has the ball, they are sitting there cheating in their half, demoing, bumping, frustrating the absolute heck out of the Dignitas defense. Now past one. Jorius is like, I'm just gonna wait for this one to come down to me. You can waste your boost trying to make a challenge on it, but Rise is right there on the return. Atomic up next. Less than 1 minute in regulation. Napo trying to solo play it, not gonna find it there. And here comes Rise. It's just one turn after the other, and Dignitas has yet to be able to slow the Twisted Mind attacks down.
Ooh, Napo. A couple of times he's trying to be tricky with it. You saw him on the pre-flip air dribble attempt on the bump. The Dignitas were able to narrowly avoid it. That time the window a little too tight for Napo to grab that touch off the ceiling in front of the box. Dignitas have held on to this lead. We said defense was the question mark at the start of this game for Dignitas. They're gonna have to play a little bit more here at the end of regulation, and you're not gonna get away from it this time. A demo and a threat of another gives Napo the opening for a second goal.
The one player everybody has been so curious would look like on LAN is proving himself again. He is a thriving person out in the space. In 2-2, 10 seconds on the clock, off the kickoff. Jack's gonna take the opportunity, and Dignitas steal the lead.
Well, the pop-up is perfect for apparently Jack. Jory is with a beautiful 50, Rise with a quick cheat up. Jack ready for the pop-up. It's over Rise's head and past Napo's car into the net. What a response on the kickoff from Jorius and Jack. The duo linking up when they needed it, but hang on, they're giving the kickoff right back. Rise through, and Jorius finds a way to make the stop. Ball in the air. Dignitas can't quite get it on the ground. Flipped up high, everybody crashing forward. Dignitas hold on for the game one victory.
Oh man, last heroic efforts. I mean, those kickoffs can be
slower on the cheat up. Rise was trying to play the quick cheat up. That worked in Dignitas' favor. Now in Forbidden Temple, Hercules, you and I both picked Twisted Minds in this match, but Dignitas are showing their colors right now. They're gonna force Twisted Minds to have to play their game and play it well. Stizzy will pop this up, meaning Rise has to wait. Jory is crashing in front, does not want Twisted Minds to control it at all. Atomic, no boost. Stizzy stops him in track. Napo also actually getting the 50. Follow-up was important. He's got that one and actually puts Dignitas back. Jorius, though, has a reset. Doesn't need a ton of boost to push it forward. Looked like Twisted Minds were going to get the push there on offense, but then Dignitas turned it right back on him.
I mean, and that's the good thing about Dignitas right now, too, right? They have been so quick to cut Twisted Minds off and then stay there and start to formulate their own little thing going on. Pinch across the side, just barely touched the net, but wasn't going to go in anyway. This one over one. Nobody went for the bump on Jorius, so Jorius still managed to keep this one out. And Twisted Minds got to make a return home. Jack with a challenge over one, passed and through in the corner. No setup. Jorius has been a little late to a couple of these follow-ups, but at least the opportunities are flowing for Dig, although they are going to be cut off by the post of all people.
Definitely say fortune favored Dignitas on that play. Jorius' pass, a risky one to get to Jack. It was a good cutoff, though, from Twisted Minds. It was unfortunate for Twisted Minds that it bounced off the post as it did, but good patience from Dignitas as Jorius tackles one and gets the goal. All you gotta do is clear the path, and Jorius gets the shovel out here.
Absolutely insane. I mean, I was kind of dogging on Jorius because I'm like, dude, you've been a little late to a couple of these, but step up and find your place, and that's exactly what he did. Dignitas, an opening lead here in game number 2, trying to keep things competitive. Low boost for the defense right now on Twisted Minds. Although they get enough to collect, Dignitas is still on attack. Apparently Jack's done an incredible job of making sure that this ball is consistently at least lobbed into the blue side.
Free ball for Dignitas. Twisted Minds waste no time. Napo wastes no time getting that set up. I said free ball. And Napo knew it too, so he went supersonic to go chase Jorius down, who also thinks he had time and his touch, the ball gets a little ahead of his car. It's tough to get a good 50 there when the ball is that far ahead of you and above as you're coming around the corner. That it made the job that much easier for Napo to get the touch. He now gets advantage on the threat of a bump to set it up, and it gets Twisted Minds in game tying position.
Less than 3 minutes in a current tied game. Dignitas doing what a few people didn't expect, although Rise tried to do what we've seen him do multiple times, the double off the backboard, but this time cut off. Napo taking his turn, pass over to Rise, shot off the backboard, leaves it for the follow, and it almost was in. The save stays out, and Dignitas has the time to keep this ball from going back in.
Great stop there from Rise. No transition from Dignitas. Rise still falling on top of it. The ceiling, pass to Atomic. Rise set all of this up. Double commit from Dignitas. They're feeling the pressure. Stizzy slows down the attack from Twisted Minds and holds the ball. Jack the whole way downfield. Jory is a bit back. He can't go. It's right to Napo. Into Rise. Denied. Atomic, quick shot. Jack is in front. Dignitas might have the break. Jory is first. Napo went high. He went low. Stizzy on the left side. Kicks right back out thanks to Jack's challenge. Atomic responds with a demo, opening up more space here for Twisted Minds. It's Napo off the ceiling, dropping down. Stizzy's off the backboard. Rise trying to catch it. He's got a little time, but not a lot off the ceiling. Atomic jumping with him. Who's gonna shoot? Dignitas are just happy that it was savable. Stizzy only in the place where he could have saved it, and Dignitas survived.
I mean, most people have had their eyes on Stizzy, wondering, can you keep up? Can you be impactful enough to get Dignitas higher than a top 8? And with this level of defense that he has put out there, I would say yes. Stizzy tried to get this back over to a teammate. Jorius up next in rotation, but Napo takes it away. And Dignitas gotta fight this pinch, but Stizzy is there. Pass off to Jorius. Takes his time, and Twisted Minds got to be sitting there like, whoa, we did not expect this level of high defense. And it is frustrating them. 1 minute left to go in regulation. Can Dignitas figure it out here?
Twisted Minds offense has been difficult to set up. High touch out. They've had good control of the midfield, but building that pressure has been difficult, and Jack hits him between the eyes. 37 seconds left. A demo on the back end as Rise is chasing it. Napo was up on the sidewall because he wasn't expecting his teammate to get demoed, and he's already out of position by the time the demo happened, or he's not out of position by the time the demo happens, but he's on the wall by the time the demo happens. A huge demo on the rotation, and everyone tries to dive back. It's too little, too late. Jory is setting it up. Jack knocking him down here, Hercules. 30 seconds left. Dignitas just may be up 2-0 here in game.
They look incredibly consistent right now. The pass off to Jack puts this out into the Twisted Minds half. Napo thought he was making it clear. It was just a setup to Jack for a shot. 10 seconds to go. A wide one from Jorius, but you're still up by 1. And if you just continue to defend like you have, this is yours. Rise to the backboard. This one almost to the ground. It's not caught. Dignitas to match point.
It's telling how much faith the one on offense. That's how they've been playing this series so far.
Dignitas 1 away from taking down a team that had such a high-level performance yesterday, and everybody was wondering what really was going on with Dig yesterday. Well, they said it's fine. It was just day 1. It was a warm-up Swiss day. We're back to ourselves and beyond. But can they close out here? Can Dignitas sweep Twisted Minds off the backboard? Space for the double floater and eat. Rise said, hold on. I'm still from EU. I got the mechs enough to carry this on my own.
I mean, the height is one thing. That placement
is another.
Right off of it. That is a nasty double from Rise. Jack still almost got to it, but it had enough height too on the shot. Fake kickoff right there. And who other than Rise to try to stabilize things here for Twisted Minds? Dignitas. That was just Rise on the difference. Put that ball where nobody could get it. And of course, Stizzy will set it up, and Dignitas will pick up right where they had left off here. The great first touch here from Jack. Napo's got no boost, so Stizzy just holds and dares Nalpo. He's like, fine, if you're gonna beat me, it's gonna be over to the corner. But if I win, you're dead. Anywhere else, my team is ready. Dignitas got it.
I gotta hand it to Joreuz. He was a little quiet for me in the beginning of this series, and now his timing on a lot of these cleanups have been impeccable, but so has Nalpo off the kickoff here. Straight into the nose of his car.
Yeah, good luck trying to get to that ball, Joreuz. That one, like you said, you don't get a much better kickoff than that. If you're Nalpo, on the nose, perfect speed heading down the other way, and Joreuz certainly thinking he had time and the space to actually get back to it, but instead he ran into a blue car. Dignitas want to strike right back. Joreuz beating the first defender. Not a ton of boost for Nalpo, and not a great touch. Whoa, miscommunication. Jack coming up. Joreuz thinking to give it to Jack. Maybe both had a good idea there, but they got to be on the same page.
Yeah, he was just a little bit too far forward for that to be an actual play. But it's fine, you got time. Here's another version over to Jack to the backboard. You saw Stizzy already looking on the bottom. But Twisted Minds keep putting themselves up in the way. Finally a clear out for them, but unfortunately for Twisted Minds, multiple times, this ball just goes straight into the hands of Dignitas. And if you're a Dignitas fan, you're excited for that. And here comes Nalpo taking his time, fakes the reset, lets it go low, but Stizzy calls it. Takes his time, carries this one out with Jack. And Twisted Minds, they've at least been able to stay in this orange half for a little bit longer, but as far as taking shots at this net, it's a little bit more few and far in between.
Again? Now, Twisted Minds, they're finding openings on that backboard. They see Dignitas low, and they're trying to exploit any kind of vertical space they're being given on offense by Dignitas. It worked for them earlier to get that goal. It almost worked for them again there from Atomic. Dignitas are able to stop them this time. They still need to find a way to get that offense going. They are still headhunting. Jack and Joreuz actually both picking up demos on the other end. Atomic buys them all the time they need to respawn and kick that ball right back to the orange.
Half this game left to go. Twisted Minds leading by one. Nalpo trying to turn it into two. Rise, shot on target. Joreuz gets it out. He tried to go for the bump too to just delay it, and it works. The follow sent off by Stizzy. Rise still being a menace in the net. Jack's gonna be forced to be awkward, and thankfully Stizzy's bailout with this clear gives Dignitas some breathing room.
Yeah, Dignitas, though, they can't really advance. There's no opening. Stizzy and Jack had already turned by the time Joreuz's challenge happened. Seeing that no opening was forthcoming, Rise goes for the bump. Joreuz avoids him, gets a pop on the reset. Jack going for a tackle. Stizzy going in for him. How are you gonna squeeze that one? Almost found a way to. And Rise will find a way out. Dignitas gets stuffed at the gate. Stizzy with the read off the ceiling. The quick set isn't going to work out for them, though, and they get forced back again.
Dignitas got to stay cool and controlled. Nalpo, that was a speedy shot towards that net, but again, you got to hand it to Joreuz. The amount of times he's been able to defend him and Stizzy have kept Dignitas in a place where this has not become a shootout. Jack in the net disrupting. Is it enough to let this in? Not quite.
Wasn't sure if Stizzy would have the force to push around that. He didn't have a lot of boost by the time he got to the opposite side of the ball. Dignitas, while the pushes on offense have been short, they found an opening here. Stizzy, all you gotta do is put that on target, and Dignitas have a tie game.
Stizzy all the way from his own end, but it was the clear out from Jack that sped this up too much for Atomic to get back in time. No boost, no save.
Also, no boost for, I believe it was Rise in the midfield that just dove at Jack to try to get to that challenge. Like if Jack just gets a free touch, there's no way he's gonna recover in time anyway. And so a tough spot. Twisted Minds get caught out in their rotation. Atomic, though, drops the bucket! And Rise fills it up! Twisted Minds take the lead back.
This is unfortunate too, because Twisted Minds, you thought maybe you could get a handout, but no, Stizzy had already committed to the bit, and this placement was just too much for him to get back. Less than a minute to go, Twisted Minds back into their lead. And Dignitas have been under pressure against them before. We're gonna see if they can climb out now.
Back pass, give Rise a chance at it. Joreuz gets a piece of it. Stizzy lets the challenge go. This gives a free touch. Joreuz, Stizzy not on the same page again. Thinking pass. Stizzy's thinking bump and a whiff on the pass. Looked like it was a little far ahead of the receiver. A quick pass to handle for sure. Twisted Minds certainly would have felt good with that insurance. Now Dignitas give it a chance. Apparently Jack forcing Jorius to stretch, and stretch he will. Stizzy had no boost as he went forward for it. So again, the Dignitas disconnect here as they try to move down the field as they finally get possession. They've given this ball up in chances where they might have been able to generate shots. Here's another chance. Jack, 1, 2, and sunk, but saved. Up high, it's too high. Twisted Minds, do they get swept? Do we go to overtime? No, they don't get swept. We're going to game 4.
This isn't the end of the road quite yet. Twisted Minds have a foot in the series still, and it looks like Dignitas
get on offense in that game number 3. But they joint up in those situations. Twisted Minds probably don't win that game, or at least you're going to force Twisted Minds to have to make the save. So here we go in game number 4. They pull off the reverse sweep. We've had one today. Granted, maybe not one you would have expected between Twisted Minds and Foot. But Twisted Minds, not Twisted Minds, between Foot and Team Secret, excuse me. But now Twisted Minds trying to pull off a reverse sweep themselves here against Dignitas.
Right now, with the way Dignitas were playing, at least in that game 2 and 3, or excuse me, game 1 and 2, they look like they are capable of ending this here, but Twisted Minds are slightly starting to get their footing off the backboard. Jack just shadowing this ball to keep it out, but Napo takes it back. Atomic looking for the bump.
Jeez.
Nope, you're not, you don't even need it. Napo can do it on his own here. And look at this one, just the power off the ceiling to himself, the reset over Jorius. Looks like we're gonna have a series on our hand.
Well, that was G's because Atomic, he had first, instead of even going for the read off the backboard, he saw Jack and was like, well, I know you got to stretch for this, so I'm going to force you out of your path. And then he just whips back around and is like, hang on, I got a right hook too. And then make sure that nobody else can make the stop and give Nalpo the space. Dignitas, quick transition. Double commit from Twisted Minds. Stizzy with a good first touch. It was tough to get that place anywhere. Joria's another short touch, keeps it close. Jack playing tight. No midfield boost for Stizzy, and he's forced the whole way back. Jack will hold the ball. Jack will just go over the entire team here.
Hey, do your thing, man. That's OG Jack stuff too. Off the wall, the control too, to get just over not only Rise, but Atomic. And Atomic had the boost to try and get up there, but no. Composed enough to get on in tied game with less than 4 to go.
Atomic's approach was kind of weird considering how much boost he had.
Yeah.
And one of those, I could see from his player POV, at least for me, I'd probably have a better understanding. That's pretty easy to understand the bounce on this one. Rise slaps this off of Jorius' car for the challenge, and it bounces right off of Stizzy. Jack is whipping his head back and forth, rolling, bruh. Okay, 2-1 here for Twisted Minds.
Dignitas just got to do it again, and that's what they're going to try, but so is Rise. This one falls back to Stizzy. He's going to try and make up for this one. Down to the ground, no connect. He wanted the follow-up from Jack. He has the space. The double is wide, but at least they're in the area.
Wow.
Jorius with all the time, though. Off of the ground, in between a laser of a shot to tie things.
Holy rocket pitch, Stizzy. Jeez, I don't know if any other type of touch would have generated an immediate shot for Jorius, but that was the one. There might have been 100 different ways to play that ball, and that's the only one that gives you a shot like that in an opening. What a crazy pitch from Stizzy. Dignitas always seem to have an answer in the tank, even though Twisted Minds offense have been able to score. Dignitas have been able to respond. And now the big question is, can you stay disciplined? Can you all be on the same page for the length of this? Because as it's gone, when they have been on the same page, Dignitas have looked like the better team. Twisted Minds right behind them. But if they give Twisted Minds an inch, or a millimeter, if you will, you know, they'll take a kilometer. There you go, European friends, rejoice.
Yes, if you give Dignitas a kilometer, they will take 2. So.
No, well, a million. If you give them a kilometer, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, then you get the open nets that Jorius keeps scoring, and then you run into the problems you have been. But have to
give them the whole country.
Yeah, you give them all the space of the world. It's theirs. They can have Birmingham if they want at this point, because this one's almost in.
High ball for Nalpo. Challenge actually gave a shot. Rise, there was a defender right in the way. Jack tried to find the quick read. Timing wasn't there. Touch not great. Two commit for Twisted Minds to give Rise an opening. Shot to the left side, off target. No boost for Stizzy, and he has Rise coming up right behind him. Jack will get it with space. Jory is going on the wing. No opening on the flick from Jack. Jory is going to defend on the wall. We'll have to wait. Patience pays off, but Rise is right there to pop him out of the way, and good coverage as well from Stizzy to help him out. Another pitch just off target. Rise won't get a lick at it, and Jack sitting downfield. He doesn't get a look, but Jorius gets another chance at it. And Jack's presence downfield enough to force Twisted Minds to try to catch him out on those quick power clears, but still they find a way to hit Stizzy in the face on defense.
I am telling y'all, Stizzy on defense right now, when he is on it, he is impossible to get past. He almost gets a dunk on top of it. Although Dignitas doesn't come out of here with a goal, they still get a couple shots. Stizzy's taking his time, tries to get past Atomic, he does, but now he's already on his back end. A demo sends him home, and Jack's gotta wait further. Maybe here he can get in. No, Rise keeps him out, but Stizzy's gonna try again. No bump or demo from Jack. You see the wheels turning, but unfortunately for them, Atomics were faster.
And Jorius was left stranded after that. Jack went for the bump, went for the full play. No challenge from the second man. Gives Atomic this quick out. Jorius, all you can do is try to shorten the space and stop that flick before it happens. Atomic rips it right over his head. Twisted Minds another lead, another step forward towards that game 5.
Less than a minute to go. Can they fix it here? Stizzy on target. Jack on in.
Surely it had to be in this time. They've been trying to take them off their step every time. Fake the challenge and go for the demo. Jorius completes that. Stizzy kind of dizzies Nelpo a little bit and gives Jack an opening on that right side. A shootout in game 4. Dignitas trying to close the series out as it pinches towards the net off the kickoff.
Almost off the kickoff, but not quite. Napo's gonna try and do the return. The double denied. Stizzy taking this one for himself, uses everything in the tank to at least get past the mid, but Atomic pitches off of Rise. Still not enough speed for Twisted Minds to follow this one up. 30 seconds left to go. Jorius past Napo. This ball is in the blue half. And this is what Dignitas need. They need the space, but they're getting bumped off the play now. Stizzy's gonna have to stay a little bit more composed as these attacks start to come through to his face. 13 on the clock. Last-ditch efforts from Jorius. It's set up for the follow. Jack can't, Stizzy can't. 5 on the clock. And Rise tries to keep this going, but no. We hit the ground. It's overtime.
My God. Look, if you've ever played the, really any kind of racing game where collisions happen, you get points for near misses. If we gave points to near misses on demo attempts for the player that avoided them, I think there'd be so many points. Both teams have been trying to delete the other entirely, and they've been connecting on a lot of them for sure, but there have also been a lot of close calls. And now we got OT for Twisted Minds. This is just to be in the upper round in round number 4. Twisted Minds with Atomic. Trying to stretch for it, drops it down to Rise, but Jack was ready for it. Nalpo covering the retreat and might just create, well, that's a beautiful touch. Has the air dribble, what's the bump, what's the dunk? Nalpo! It's beautiful from start to finish. Picturesque here from the young gun.
The guy with the biggest target on his back, shooting at the faces of Dignitas. I mean, you can't stop him right now. An OT win for Twisted.
The series out now here against Twisted Minds. Nalpo has had some shining moments. Really everyone on Twisted Minds. It's been one heck of a series, and we're only in Swiss. As we know with Rocket League Majors, the games only get better with time. The farther we go, the better the quality is getting. Cases here for Twisted Minds and Dignitas within the series. And Dignitas close things down.
Right now, Dignitas had a decent amount of pressure, but Atomic put a stop to that one. Dig's still going for the big long clears. Unfortunately, they just continue to fall to the hands of Twisted Minds. Napo trying to solo play this one on his own. Jack slowed him down for a moment.
Thought he had
that was already up back. The waterfall down. No follow, though. Atomic's going to try and keep it going off the sidewall, but it was enough time for Dignitas to get in position to throw this ball back out mid. But unfortunately for them, Twisted Minds are staying in their half. They're taking shots, but they're much wider.
Earlier, Napo thought he had help on that 50 that he dropped. He faked the touch, and then nobody was there. And then that second one, Rise was getting harassed from behind by Dignitas. I think that hurried up his approach. He wasn't able to find the read. Dignitas, ready to get back here on the blue. Fake the touch against Atomic, but it wasn't enough to get his nose off the ball. Jack will bump him out of the way. Stizzy ends up backflipping out of the play. Rise drops it to Atomic, and that keeps Dignitas locked here on defense. Twisted Minds working around the corner. Stizzy faked out on one. Coming across to Rise. One touch out on the double. Stizzy's ready for that one. They'll have to work a little harder to get it by him there. Jack in the air, off the ceiling. Does he have the read against Nalpo? Steals it away, forces a double commit, and that keeps the ball tight, leaving a shot open for Dorius.
All that work from Jack, and there would be one person on this team to make sure it went in, and it was Jorius. Throws himself. Nalpo didn't even expect the speed at which he was coming. Dignitas opening lead.
That's like the boomer bust when it comes to apparently Jack. Because he doesn't get square on that ball like he did against Nalpo there. He had to stretch to go get that. The double commit doesn't happen there. Stizzy can't tackle Atomic. Dignitas almost doubling up. Jack holding the ball and forces Nalpo from the no boost clear. Jorius using the ceiling to shorten space. Gets his nose on it, but it's enough for Atomic to grab the ball and keep it tight. Has the flip and a side flip out there for Nalpo. Rise still gets a free touch. High up again, challenging Jorius. Jorius is up to the task as Atomic gets his nose there. And Dignitas, quick clear, transition. Stizzy, high pop. Oh! Every bit of the woodwork is Stizzy's worst enemy. Jorius holds the ball to buy time for the retreat. Maybe hold on to the midfield, but Jack is too far back. Stizzy's got to make the grab. And he gets the follow-up as well, but is it enough to hold? Fakes that follow-up touch, or, you know, it was a required fake. Wow, that was almost in. I thought that was just going to be saved, but they got a little closer. I said fake. It wasn't a fake when you got no boost. But Twisted Minds were faked. Anyways, back to Stizzy.
Whew. I mean, right now, Dignitas truly have every single piece of the puzzle, and the best one that they have is Stizzy. For so long, Dignitas have tried to find a third that really just could lock in and do their thing on their own, and it is him. Stizzy's solo play capability really is what is setting Dignitas apart right now. Just over 2 minutes left in this game 5. Dignitas a little ways away from going into the 2-in-1 round. Twisted Minds falling behind as time goes on. Coming off of some questionable defense there on that last goal from Twisted Minds. Atomic missing the read, and then Nalpo going like he's gonna challenge. And then he doesn't. Twisted Minds, they can forget about that. Have some short memories as Rise, all he does is hold the ball, and everybody committed on Dignitas. Their defense breaks down, and so now everybody's choking up here when it comes to holding the back line. So let's see if all 6 players can get that figured out. Dignitas especially need to be wary of making those mistakes. You've had the lead, you bought insurance, but now you've given Twisted Minds an in with 1:40 left. As Stizzy loses the ball here. Nalpo coming out of net. Just didn't have the power behind that pass in order to get to him. No boost either. Quick hit. Twisted Minds making their life a little more difficult than they maybe need to. This touch gets away from 2 players. The bounce works for Atomic. It might be open, but Jory is in stride, able to hit the touch. Jack going downfield again. Stizzy just has to hold the ball. No way he could get that towards net. Wants a pass, sees Jackets leaving though, takes towards the net instead. Rise will go hop over one. Jorius tries to cut in front of another, but there's nobody back in net, and Dignitas have lost their lead. Twisted Minds do it to him on the defense. It starts with Nalpo in that demo, turning that into an open net. Even Jorius was trying to set him up for a bailout, but he had both defenders running behind him, and Twisted Minds tie things up. Just over a minute. Can they take their lead back? Stizzy takes this one away. Jack up next. You see Jorius lurking in the shadows. Stizzy on low boost. Pass off to Jorius. That boost isn't going to spawn in time, but it's not going to stray him away from taking a shot at the net. Oh, Atomic wins the touch. That's going to force everyone back. Jorius does get a free touch. He's just punting it. Oh, Stizzy! An absolute heat of a shot 105 kilometers off the top rope. This is why he was chosen to complete this roster. 39 seconds away and a one-goal lead, and it could be 2 here. Although nobody goes up to make the effort. Dignitas, they've been known for their defense this weekend. They've been incredible, but can they hold on for another 25?
Demo?
The demo opens up the space. Jurius sends us back into the corner. He owns the control. He has the boost from the mid. Solo to the backboard. Can he pitch it down? No. Rise sends this out. Pass over to Atomic. Shot on target. 8 seconds left to go. Twisted Minds have one more chance. And Jurius sends it away. Jack will end it!
Dignitas hold on, and they don't get reverse swept. The relief, the smiles over here on the Dig side. Hugs for Stizzy, and a nice little high five. Great way to dap up. Dazarin would be proud of you. Look at all the dap ups there. We need the Dazarin rating on that.